Although life is quite nuanced, and comes in a variety of colors, we as human beings have a tendency to see things that happen to us, edged with either a bright shimmer, or, with a dim darkness. Things are usually black or white for us. Good or bad. We also choose to look at others through these black and white colored glasses, either when it comes to grading our new neighbor, the colleague at work, or your partner's friends and acquaintances. We see them as either good or bad, nice or rude, or smart or stupid. Since we also look at things through our own perspective, and compare things from how we ourselves live our life, and from our point of view, with our values, life philosophies, personalities, and with us at the center, and as a starting point for whether something outside of our box is good or bad, it is perhaps not so surprising that how we judge things are not how they actually are. You yourself have a very clear picture of who you are and what the world looks like, and assume that everyone else naturally also follow this norm. Deep down, after all, we still know that things are not as easy as black or white. In any case, it is my sincere hope that most of us can look at life, others, and even ourselves, through multicolored glasses. But what do I know? Because just like I said, not everyone thinks the way I do, not everyone looks at life the way I do. Colors can also change and shape over the years and turn into something else. Time changes things. Time also changes thoughts, philosophies, attitudes and behaviors. Even personalities. Everything is always changing, transforming, developing and growing, changing shape and color. But we cannot see this change, because it is constantly changing. Slowly but surely, the change has happened, yet you haven't noticed it. A process that is going on right now as you are watching and hearing this, but something your simple eye cannot perceive. Change is happening beyond what our physical senses can take in. There are always shifts. Everywhere, with everything. A movement from light to dark, from dark to light. Just look up at the sky and see how the sun and moon move during the hours of the day. But once you stand there and look up, you don't see that shift, even though it's happening right above your head. We live our lives in shifts and changes, far more than in just set events or physical places, yet we only see life as black or white, good or bad, day or night, hot or cold. We rarely see or feel the shifts in between. It is often said that there are two sides of a coin. When you throw one to a bet, you choose either a cheat or crown. This or that. Here or there. You or me. Who will win? I bet though, that you would never put your money on that the coin could end up its side. But it is still a possibility, right? Just think of the expression "there are always two sides of a story." But we all know that there are numerous versions of a story, not only two. Depending who's telling the story, it can sound very different. So who is actually telling the right story? Is there even such a thing as one truth? Since we obviously have difficulty looking at simple things in everyday life in a nuanced way, it baffles me a little that many people around the world consider themselves able to evaluate and grade much more important and complicated things from the same point of view. Could it not be that there are many sides to both a coin and a story? Who says it has to be this or that? Unfortunately, if a person happens to do something that is considered bad, that person often gets labeled as a bad person. Just because you think that what they did was bad, you assume the person is bad, regardless of the background leading up to what they did, such as the history, the situation, the surroundings, the individual, and so on, and at the end of it all, the result. The same goes for symbols. We have already decided that something is good or bad without even caring about the history surrounding it, nor the situation it currently finds itself in. Just take the cross for example. When you see a cross, you probably immediately think of Christianity and Jesus. If you see an upside-down cross, you probably think of Satanism and devil worship. Or, if you are well-read and know that there is a story behind the St. Peter's cross. Peter, who was one of Jesus' disciples, chose to be crucified upside down, because he did not consider himself worthy of the same death as his master. You may also know that an upside-down cross can also symbolize the Hanged One in Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot deck. And that particular card can stand for many things, including either being a victim and martyr, or surrender and have trust that everything will work out exactly the way it's supposed to. The cross is actually such a simple symbol, just two lines crossing each other, and yet it stirs up so many emotions, and creates so many debates. For some, the cross may be just that, two lines. If two lines can be interpreted in so many different ways, depending on who you ask, how can we mere mortals decide what is good or bad, black or white? Just like when you look up at the sky and either see the sun shining brightly in the middle of the day, or the moon among the stars in the dark at night, everything is constantly in motion and moving between its opposites. We take a snapshot and base truths on it, then stand and convulsively cling to it as the absolute truth. We lose the slow, but constant movement, between the light and the dark, that is constantly taking place, and therefore we are missing our own change and development that transforms on its natural course. Just like the wrong saying yin and yang, because that term does not exist. It is yin-yang, that constitutes all aspects and phenomena of life, and encompasses the actual process of the universe, and all that exists. But that is also only one, of all, truths.